Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here and you've decided to come and spend some time with me because these are very special times. So, welcome to the Advancement Center here in Santa Barbara. As you can see, the sun is shining, the flowers are beautiful, and all is right with the world up here at the center. And what I've discovered that we are even at a higher elevation in these past few days, higher elevation than the physical one. David referred to these broadcasts as our pouring out of our deeply felt feelings. As we share our stories with you, we feel that we've embraced and included and drawn you in to our family. Yesterday, each and every one of us was held, validated, and valued highly when Simeon was brought in to speak directly to us by Robert. I'm feeling that right now as I sit in this chair. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. We've all been on a journey, every one of us. And I'm so glad, Jennifer, that you're joining us today. Jennifer was brand new yesterday, and her first broadcast was Simeon. And I always ask, how did you find us every time someone new comes? And she said, well, 5 years ago, she saw one of Robert's YouTubes and it resonated. And isn't that what happens? We read something, we feel something, and then it passes. But not really. It goes in. And then it gets activated. So I'm so glad you're with us today, Jennifer. And as I said, we're all on a journey. And all together, again, we have found each other. And together we form a library of experiences. And the greatest magic of all is that we found each other once again. Sometimes it takes a lifetime. Sometimes it takes 5 years. Sometimes it kind of, you remember one of the interviews with Robert and Lilu Mace, and you're curious. It doesn't matter how you get here. It matters that you're here now. You know, it's funny, on Facebook, they have this thing called Classmates, you know, for you to see your graduating class wherever you went to high school. And I always said, no, that's ridiculous. I don't want to have to, you know, I'm letting go of the past. Why would I want to go there? But somehow, yesterday, they changed their tune and they said, view your photo. I couldn't resist. So I clicked on photo And I saw that determined young woman who was in high school, who was not going to settle for less, and who had her sights set for the best. And also in the picture was, I mean, we're talking over 60 years ago. And also in the picture was this other, she was really my only friend who I felt was on my level of intensity, and that was Phyllis. And then I saw the purpose for taking a peek at that time. I knew at that moment that I had shifted the focus of that determined young woman when I didn't want to be a burden to my father, asking him to send me to Northwestern University, which was my dream. And I said, no, 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 no. So I went to Ohio State. And it's fascinating because once you lose that beam of focus, then whatever comes, you deal with. And I'm happy to tell you, I have never felt happier, more in focus, and more determined to share what we have found to be true. And I also marvel at my own journey because I went from wherever it had taken me and I saw the focus take me step by step to Australia to meet my future. And that is how Robert and I are together here, having formed the Advancement Center for everyone to come here, discover, and know what they know. We have a very dear friend in Costa Rica. Her name is Elizabeth. And every time Simeon broadcasts, I know there's going to be a ding on my phone and a text from Elizabeth. And this is what she said. This broadcast changed everything into an unending state of expanding feeling of home. He did. He took us all home. And then I had the great joy and privilege of editing the transcript. Do you all know about Dragon? Dragon listens to the broadcast. This is all digitally, and puts it into words, English language. And then I get a chance to edit it. And as the weeks go on, there is less and less need for editing because Dragon is catching on. So I answered Elizabeth with a text, and I said, I felt myself crying as I edit the transcript of Simeon's love through Robert's voice. It's true. And I have a surprise for you, but I'll tell you about it later. Now it's time to go to the journal. I've just been so delighted with people's response when I share what I have written in my journal and Simeon's response directly to me. I met Simeon in Australia. And that by now, that's a classic story because I was home alone in the apartment, discovered a CD and played it. And I had no idea what I was listening to. And it turned out I was listening to Simeon talking about Robert, my new husband, which I had no idea about. So here it is. Now I realize I have to write neater because I'm having a hard time reading my own handwriting. But this is from Friday. Okay. On Friday, after David's amazing broadcast, Robert and I sat down and watched a David Wilcock documentary about eons and eons ago with progenitors and people 26 feet tall and the houses that they built inside moons. And I went, wow. And sitting there next to Robert, it was electrifying because he said, I love this. Yes, that's what happened. And I went, oh boy, this is exciting. So at any rate, this is what I wrote to dearest Simeon. Robert quoted you as saying, it has all happened. We are so without a clue with what space travel is truly happening. The YouTube showed how far behind we are in our considerations. And recently, my new mantra has been living my power. So I said here, living my power is an amazing key for me. I long for your view in words. And all I do is I put up the quotation marks and take dictation. He said, perhaps you've known everything from the beginning and were never called upon to relate what you know. You, my dear, are an ancient one in modern dress. Just by releasing your power a little bit has brought you to this simple elegance of being. This is what Robert has been waiting for, you to wake to your own beauty. You saw it in your high school pictures today. We love you both, your loving friend forever, Simeon. And that was at 7:28 p.m. And then, after Simeon spoke, I wrote last night, dearest Simeon, I don't have to tell you how moved I felt hearing your words that were received so deeply within places within me, not knowing before, but somehow remembered as a long ago feeling of freedom. Editing the transcript of the broadcast was an even deeper experience for me. And there was one passage I heard through Robert's loving voice that brought me to tears, deeply felt. And then I put the quotation marks, and Simeon said, "Oh, this is a quote from something we all heard that Simeon said yesterday." And I quote it again. "You showed us our own assured feelings of our knowledge in the advanced world from which we come. You took us into the expanded unknown beyond our everyday realization. You gave us a future where a future never existed before. I long to hear your words as I experience a newness in receptivity into this opened heart and soul in attention." And then I put the quotation marks. "It is with great pleasure to feel the ripeness and receptivity of you and the others who were listening. It is my pleasure to let you know that the surface of all that is to come has barely been scratched. This is so much more, there is so much more to open up for you all, so far beyond the magic and miracles that have been delighting you." Now I know why David always says, beyond the world of magic and miracles. There is no time in ancient history when you all have not been present. The latest of times is showing you how to allow yourself to be whatever you want to be, to see what you have never been allowed to see before, and just remember there is always more. We honor you and bless the love that you and Robert share. Your loving friend forever, Simeon. Wow. I just feel like there's no more private space that I could share with you. It's thrilling to me, and I hope you liked it. You enjoyed it. I'm getting excited because I know what's coming. But you'll have to wait. One of the lasting images that I think we all have after hearing Simeon yesterday is the support that we are all receiving and feeling. And it is like the third leg of a tripod, or the third leg of a stool that holds us and we can't tip over. I immediately think of children. And some of the things we say to them Like, stand on your own 2 feet. Don't rely on anything else. No. Boy, now I would say, well, I never said that, by the way, but now I would say, you have 2 feet to stand on, and you have the greatest support coming to you, supporting you from your spirit. That could change lives. That could change parenting. Because every parent with that awesome responsibility of raising a child has to know that they are supported as well in their unbelievably important job of making sure this new little one has a good start on a life to be lived. I couldn't resist it. In my invitation, and Facebook is having all kinds of games with me, and I can't find it most of the time, but I did put this quote in from Simeon, and I love it. And I said, you will gather feelings about space, about the universe, about what's happening in and around your world, and what's happening within your own being. The connection between the past and the future will be remade so that all indications of what you have known about the past leap forward into the future and make a connection that increases your assured feelings of your knowledge in the advanced world from which you come. Now, if that's not a teaser, I don't know what is, because that is what we were gifted with yesterday. That assuredness that we're in the right place, hearing the right words, and placing our feet on the right path with a lot of support. I'm going to keep going because this is amazing. Your knowledge of things beyond even the space program will bring to light advanced methods that only you can understand. You will start to see that the images that come to you, even in a dream, have a place, not in the world that's been depicted to you, but in the expanded unknown that's beyond your everyday realization. With this in mind, it's easy to see that there's more to everything than can be explained or expressed right now. The fact that it depends on your capability not to understand, but to gather what you haven't known to be real until now, and bring to life something that gives a future where a future never existed before. I could go on forever. I could read this to you and feel the entire world being enriched. But I'm just going to jump to this one place and then the surprise. Simeon said, we have all lived together in this universe for a long, long time. And now We are about to live together in a much better way, with you in the lead and with your gifts, profound and elegant, shining from your eyes, from your being, and demonstrating everything without having to compare with one another or with a plan or the past or even the future. I know the power of these words. I know the power that is waiting for us in living these words. And I know you've all received the recording and hanging on to Robert's beautiful delivery. But it suddenly came to me this morning that everyone should have this in their hand to read out loud to themselves. It's up to you. If you just live one of these sentences, one of these paragraphs, it can change your life. I just felt so enriched. And that's why I would love to gift this to you. So if you would like to take me up on my offer, send me an email and I'll reply with this gift. This is more than Christmas. This is life itself, where people are helping people, loving people, having each other's back, and wanting everyone to be happy. And secure on that three-legged stool or tripod. So I look forward to your emails, perhaps a word of how you feel, and I will reply and send you this transcript. This is not just for one broadcast. This is to live by, to know, and have that security of knowing who and what you truly are. And as David said on Friday, we are all masters. Thank you for being with me today. And it is always my pleasure to wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and a magical, truly magical future. Thank you.